it's Brow Klein. You're watching another Supernatural review, and this is season 6, episode 3, The Third Man. If you're new here, I do a recap and review of every single episode of Supernatural, so let's get into it. Not until I just said 603 did I realize, like, 603 is my number. Like, my birthday is June 3rd, so this episode is trash. This episode is on the bad list. This episode makes my face go, like, because it kind of starts out as, like, kind of like a very, like, case episode, I guess, and it doesn't have monsters, and it's like something where like people are just dying mysterious ways, which, you know, feels like a very typical Supernatural episode. Like, maybe it's ghosts, maybe it's something else, but it kind of feels like I feel like this episode starts out good and then it like goes bad. Like, it's not like it starts out like the greatest, but like it starts out as like pretty decent and just goes like somewhere else. So they bring Cass back, and I was saying last video, like, I've kind of been missing Cass, and so it was kind of something where probably the writers realized too, like, we need to bring back Cass. You know, maybe he's not used as much as he was in season 5, but he will be brought back, and so brought him back. And then they had these like funny lines, which I know people love these lines, but it just, like, I don't know, it feels so forced and like kind of doesn't be needed, and like, I don't know, it just like doesn't feel right, but whatever. So Cass is brought back and kind of brings up the fact that like it's this like staff that's been missing, and so this kind of brings in what the angels are kind of doing in season 6, which it touches on. This is that now there's like angels that are fighting each other, so like I guess they wanted to do something with the angels. You know, the focus of the season's the monsters, but they still wanted to do something with the angels. But I think maybe like the angels, I don't know, it kind of feels like there's two overarching things in the season and they don't need that. But I think maybe like they, you know, had this idea for monsters, but they still felt like they needed to do something with angels. So maybe this is like something that's a little bit smaller on the side. But I just feel like I don't care. So, but I feel like it itself, like, you know, investigating and finding this like staff thing, I feel like that's an episode. And then they brought in this whole thing with the angels, and I forget the name of the angel. Is it Balthazar? It was some like, you know, very biblical name, but he's brought into this episode, and I actually kind of like him as an angel. Like, he did that episode where the Titanic didn't exist, which I'm forgetting what season that is. Is it season 7? I don't think it's this season. I feel like it's season 7, but, you know, I honestly can't remember. That's actually a pretty good episode. But whatever was happening in this episode, and them fighting, and then did Cass kill Raphael? Like, I don't even know. Like, I just, like, it just loses me. Like, it just feels like two separate episodes. Like, I know it's still dealing with this staff thing, but like it just feels so different, and so it just like loses you. And so it's just like, what? And then it also, you know, like it feels like we're already at the 3rd episode in and we're already getting a lot of serialization. Like, I feel like in each episode so far they're touching on it, which, you know, it's okay if you want to touch on it, especially at the beginning of the season when, you know, you're chill, trying to deal with a lot of aftermath, you know, give context to what the new season's about. But I felt like a half of this episode was serialized, and it just felt too much. So another important thing is that Dean starts realizing Sam is acting different, and he starts noticing that, and I feel like the writers do know they want to do so with Sam. Like, they're purposely having Sam act differently. Jared's acting differently, and they have different writing for him. And so Dean is noticing, and I think it also is something where it's just such a different contrast because of like Dean and his year away. He's become a little bit more softer. He's a little bit different in a way, which, you know, he's still Dean, and then like he's still our Dean that we all love, but he is a little bit different. And so, you know, I think that contrast is even shown even more between Dean and what is Sam, because of like Dean has more of a heart and Sam has no heart, I guess. So kind of Dean brings it up, but I still, obviously, yeah, they don't know what's happening, and I kind of forget if Sam agrees. I kind of, again, like, I was getting lost in the last part of the episode, so I don't know. But it just, I'm just like not for like that, and I feel like, you know, I'm critical of monsters. I feel like I'm more for the monsters than this, whatever this angel crop is. And I feel like that's maybe why this season might be the worst season, because they have two different serialized stories, the monsters and this angel thing, and neither one of them is like that strong. Like, I feel like the monster one is strong, but they don't execute it that well. And I wonder maybe the reason why in the end it wasn't as strong as it could be is because they were focusing some of their attention on this angel crop, where they just focused on the monster stuff. Like it would be so much better. But I don't have much else to say except like this episode is like, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there's worser episodes in the season than this episode because like the season was not good. But yeah, I think we might be hitting a lot of bad episodes, guys. So be prepared. It's just, I don't, you know, the writers, I feel like were just a little bit lost when Eric P left, and they had these ideas and they were just like, you know, we have to be strong. Eric P left. Let's just put it all in. But it's still, you lose your touch, you know? And it doesn't feel like the same Supernatural. And I know every season you got to do something different, because if it was the same, like people would lose interest, get bored. But still, like it's just not enjoyable. But anyway, we're gonna end it here. So thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and bye.